We'll head around to all the towns, head away, holiday. South Aussie with Cosi's on sit down. South Aussie with Cosi. In South Australia we will go, head away, holiday. South Australia all the way, South Aussie with Cosi.
G'day and welcome to another episode of South Aussie with Cosi. We're starting it down here at the bay at the Marina Pier. How nice is this place? You know, South Aussie with Cosi is all about reminding you guys that I personally believe we live in the best state in Australia. I'll show you the coolest spots to visit and I'll show you how you can do it without spending big bucks. I can't wait to show you what's on the show. We'll head to the Barossa Valley to check out a winery that's offering high tea. What? Find out why Gawler's show is the second biggest in SA and catch up with the Lord Mayor of Adelaide, Stephen Yarwood, to find out what he loves about South Australia. But first, it's the Bank SA Challenge. We're going to be doing something a little different with the Bank SA Challenge. What I'm urging you all to do is to think about when's the last time you actually spent a night holidaying in Adelaide, and I mean the CBD. There is so much to see and do right in the CBD in the heart of South Australia, and it's really, really simple. So tonight I've bailed up my beautiful partner / wife, Samantha, and we're staying at the Intercontinental Adelaide, and that's this way. There's loads to do for free in and around the CBD. You can check out the art gallery, the museum, have a picnic in the botanical gardens, go shopping in the central markets. It's all really, really easy within walking distance and doesn't cost a cent.
Intercontinental Hotel is a fantastic hotel. We're in a great position in the city. We're right in the heart of everything. 5-10 minutes walking and you're everywhere that you need to be. We have lots of different facilities in the hotel, a number of restaurants, a number of bars, and it's just such a great location.
Hey, here's one for you. Take into account next time you've got an event in the city. Maybe it's at the Adelaide Entertainment Centre or it might be a function at the Adelaide Convention Centre. Look at what it costs you in a taxi to get from your house to the event and home after it. It starts to add up, gets really, really expensive. That's why I'm saying to you, think of something completely different. Take that money you save off cabs and stay in a hotel in the CBD. Somewhere like this place we're staying in tonight is so well located. On one side of us, we've got the city, we've got North Terrace, the museums, absolutely everything. Then on the other, we've got the Torrens, so your Sunday morning walk, your bike rides, feeding the ducks. It's all here. Holidaying within your city in the CBD can be so good. The other great thing about holidaying in your city is an overnight stay in the CBD has you perfectly placed for some of Adelaide's famous eating areas like Rundle Street, Gouger Street, O'Connell Street and Hutt Street. One major benefit of staying here is that when it comes to eating, you don't even have to leave the building because this hotel here has 2 restaurants. Thank you. Well, that wraps up the Bank SA Challenge. Of course, we're spending a night at the Intercontinental Hotel, located right on the banks of the Torrens. What a location. And we're reminding you all just how cool it is to spend a night holidaying in your own city. The question is, though, what did it all cost? A night in the hotel starts from $220, plus let's say $80 for dinner around the CBD. The Torrens walk, well, that was free. Visit to the art gallery, free. A walk through the museum, free. That means you can have a luxury inner city getaway for around $300 a couple. That's a bargain. You'll be blown away by just how much fun it can be being a tourist in your own city.
South Aussie with Cosi. South Aussie with Cosi.
Here's an area we sometimes forget about in South Australia. How nice is our cathedral and the surrounding parkland areas? Every week on South Aussie with Cosi, we're looking for where you guys have been holidaying. Send me in your photos and you could end up on the show just like these people. Mick Taylor is a South Australian who loves taking a happy snap or two, and by the looks of these shots he sent through to me, he's very good at it. His photos here are from right across the state and they really do show that SA has a brilliant blend. Cheers, Mick. Just for making it onto South Aussie with Cosi, you're in the draw to win $500 cash, all thanks to Adelaide Arcade. To enter, all you need to do is head to southaussiewithcosi.com.au. The Barossa Valley is not only one of the most famous wine regions in South Australia, It's also one of the most famous wine regions in the world. We forget that we've got this located right on our doorstep, given that the Barossa is only, an hour away from the CBD of Adelaide. The best thing though is you can visit wineries like this one here, Wolf Blass, and do you know how much it costs you? Absolutely nothing. That's what I like about them. It's a bargain. The Barossa Valley in South Australia is described as Australia's wine capital, boasting over 80 cellar doors and 150 wineries. In 1836, the first settlers to the region described it as the cream, the whole cream, and nothing but the cream. And you know what? They were spot on. The gentleman to my left here is the chief winemaker here at Wolf Blass. Chris, thanks for having us, mate. How cool is this place? Where are we?
Cosi, it's great to have you here. We're actually at the Visitors Centre at Wolf Blass.
The first question I want to ask you, and I'm sure you know the answer, the Wolf Blass with the eagle. How did the wedge-tailed eagle start as kind of, I guess, the emblem?
Well, people probably have forgotten that Wolf Blass is actually a man, and he's a little German guy and came out to Australia in 1966. And obviously with the German background, eagles are quite important in the German culture, but that's not actually why he used the eagle on the label.
Yep.
His first wine, he called it Bilyara.
Right.
And he actually looked up, and Bilyara is an Aboriginal word for eagle hawk.
Oh, really?
And so that's where he got the vehicle of. And when he started exporting into to the US, he thought he'd really focus on the eagle, and that's really where it came from.
Wow, and it's so famous now, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It is the brand, and it's great to be able to see an eagle and people immediately think of Wolf Blass. Barossa Valley is very famous. You know, you go anywhere in the wine world and people know the Barossa Valley. So you get a lot of people, internationals come out here, and we're seeing a lot of Asians, particularly Chinese and Koreans coming, particularly in the last few months. Germany, obviously the US, but a lot of people in South Australia understand and realise how great the Barossa is. Yep. It's only an hour out of Adelaide, so you can come up for a day trip, or beautiful accommodation and beautiful restaurants. You can come up for a weekend.
I've got Ronnie here, she's the queen of the function side of Wolf Blass. I can't believe you guys actually do high tea. I've never seen that in a winery before.
Well, it's something new that we came up with. It's a gorgeous concept. You can come up with your family, spend the day, come and do something as simple as this. It's good for children, it's good for families, it's good for aunties, uncles, everybody pretty much. You can do it for your bridal showers and baby showers, and it's just something nice and fun to do.
Something great on the weekend. And you know, I'm a 33-year-old bloke, and I wouldn't say I know a lot about high tea, but what I do know from my wife is it's kind of the in thing, really.
It is the in
thing,
tea. Yeah, absolutely. And it's $20 per person. It's unlimited tea.
Yep.
You can also purchase bubbles if you want to, or a glass of wine to have for lunch, but also children, if they come, can have soft drink. It's really easy, and it's quite a fun thing to do.
I look at that and I go, and I'm always like budget focused, right? So I think you can come out here, free parking, free to get in.
Yep.
For $20 a head, you can have your high tea, you can taste some wines, you can look through the museum, and you can do all of that for $20 a head. That's unreal.
Pretty much, yeah. And if you want to do something a little bit different in the afternoon, if you're spending a bit of time out here, you can also get a glass of wine and a cheese platter and sit outside on the lawn with the kids. It's really quite easy.
Enough talking, time to eat. Let's do it.
Sounds like a plan.
You know, a few years ago, we were over in London and my wife dragged me into the Ritz to do the high tea experience there, right? That cost me 45 quid, which is 70 Australian dollars. I gotta say, this one here in South Australia, $20. That's a bargain. And as I say in the high tea industry, or as we high tea folks say, oh, it's going well. Going well. Wolf Blass Winery is located on the outskirts of Nurulta, a short drive from Adelaide. It's open 7 days a week, 9 to 5 weekdays and 10 to 5 on the weekends. For more information about the Barossa Valley, check out southaustralia.com. And don't forget, there is over 80 cellar doors to choose from in the Barossa, so do some research before you head off.
South Aussie with Cosi.
Hi, I'm Andrew. We're here dining at the beautiful Shiki restaurant in Intercontinental Adelaide, and you're watching South Aussie with Cosi.
South Aussie with Cosi.
This week's Foodland Mighty South Aussie is the Lord Mayor of Adelaide, Stephen Yarwood. Stephen has Torrens water flowing through his veins, and his love for this great city is admirable. The Lord Mayor lives in the heart of the city with his wife Emily, son Oliver and his daughter Megan. Let's find out what this mighty South Aussie loves about being in SA.
I grew up in the eastern suburbs of Adelaide and live in Wright Street, right in the middle of the city. City living is fantastic, really enjoy it. When it comes to great wineries, we're spoilt for choice, whether it's Clare, McLaren Vale, Barossa or even the Adelaide Hills. We have the world's best wine, and I love to tell that to any mayor that I ever speak to. I always like to boast we've got so much, I brush my teeth with it in the morning. Well, Adelaide City Council's got a free bike share system with 7 nodes all through the city. I'd grab one of those, ride up and down the Torrens, go for a walk along North Terrace, and end up in Rundle Street for a cold beer and a palmy and money left over. Well, I've got a 3-year-old and we've road tested lots of playgrounds in Adelaide, and we've just opened a brand new playground in Benithan Park. Free tram to get there, looks fantastic, right next to the Torrens. Do yourself a favour, it's great fun for not only the kids, but you'll enjoy the place as well. Well, Adelaide's got so much to offer in terms of beautiful heritage buildings, great art galleries, museums, cultural districts, great shopping, and of course we've got the wine regions, we've got the outback. It's all about lifestyle, 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 and if you stay for a week, you'll never want to leave.
We're in the main street of Gawler called Murray Street. And why are we here? Well, you know what? I take a lot of advice from you guys on Facebook. Just like the South Aussie with Cosi page, you can do a couple of things. One, that could win you a free holiday somewhere in South Australia. But most importantly, I get loads of suggestions of places I should be visiting on South Aussie with Cosi. Justin Simmons jumped on Facebook and he said, "Cosi, have you ever been at the Gawler show?" My answer was no. So I thought, well, let's go and check it out. The Gawler show runs across 2 days and attracts over 30,000 people every August. It's SA's largest country show and the second biggest in the state, of course behind the Royal Adelaide show. The first show here in Gawler was held way back in 1856. You can't come to the Gawler show without devoting some of your time to hanging out with the cat breeders. I've got Pandora here. Now these are Bengal cats, yeah?
Yes.
Tell me one interesting fact about them.
Well, they love water. They love to follow you around the house, and they're just lovable leopard lookalikes.
Are they related to the leopard?
They are a hybrid.
Wow.
Which is from the Asian leopard cat and a domestic cat.
Yep. Now I've got this theory about people and cats, right? It's fine to own one cat. It's fine to own 2 cats. Would you agree with me? If anyone owns more than 2 cats, they're potentially a little bit loopy.
Well, you're certainly looking at a loopy person.
Oh, how many have you got?
I've got 7.
But you're a breeder, so you can
That's
be forgiven.
Right.
Show jumping is huge in the Gawler and surrounding areas. And how's this? The Gawler show actually hosts the World Cup qualifying show jumping. Horses have always been a big part of this town, and way back in 1879, all the way through to 1931, Gawler actually had its own Horse Street tram service. Can you imagine that? Nowadays, the public transport's way better, and you can catch a train from the city and get dropped off right at the Gawler show. The Gawler show boasts over 6,500 entries every year in the 27 different competition sections, including my favourite, floral art. Now the lady next to me, her name's Heather, and she is what I describe as the queen of floral art. Is floral art big in SA, is it, Heather?
Well, we've got quite a few floral art clubs situated throughout South Australia.
Tell me, what do you jag for a first prize? You've taken out the floral art for the whole of the show. What's first prize?
Well, if I get first prize for just one arrangement, like of this one,
Yeah.
whole grand total of $2.50.
$2.50! Hey, time for a quick fact or two about Gawler. Did you know that Gawler was actually the first country town in SA? And it was named after our second governor, Mr. George Gawler. The town plan was put together by William Light, who of course planned Adelaide. Did you know that Gawler was actually the only other town that he planned? Even more importantly, when it comes to the history of Gawler, champion cricketer Buff Lehman was also born here way back in 1970. I got the boys from the Apex Club here. Now, Leon, why is this event so important to you guys?
Oh, it's a great event for the local clubs like Apex and Rotary and Lions. We get down here, we sell some snags and chips and a few things like that and raise some money for the community.
They're going to get over 30,000 people here across the weekend. As a tourist, someone that's never been to Gawler before, what other things should they be doing?
Oh, there's lots of nice things around town. There's some walks and some parks and things like that. There's a gliding club. And,
okay. Yeah. Have you been gliding before?
No.
I tell you, what you should do is find yourself a regional show somewhere in South Australia and then incorporate it into a night away or a weekend away to that location. These shows are right across South Australia. It might be a day trip like here to the Gawler show or a weekend away somewhere a little bit further out. It is the perfect excuse to get out of the city and explore South Australia. There's over 50 country shows held each year here in South Australia, and the shows coming up in Loxton, Jamestown, Murray Bridge, Bordertown, Burra, Keith and Kimber, and loads more. They're all over the state, so slot one into your calendar and turn it into a weekend away in regional SA. A great place to find out where the next show is that you'd like to visit, and plenty of other events for that matter, is southaustralia.com. Hey, would you like to win some free accommodation for your next holiday? Well, we've got 8 SA Shorts holiday packages to give away, all thanks to the South Australian Tourism Commission. Here's where you could be heading. You could be stepping out of the rat race and unwinding for a weekend at the Dovecote Cottage in the romantic Barossa Valley. Located in Tanunda, this cottage fits up to 7 guests and includes a spa bath and a glorious garden. Plus, when you rock up, there's going to be yummy breakfast provisions, chocolates, and even a port. Hey, did you know there's over 400 holiday locations in the Shorts holiday book? And we've got 8 in total to give away. Entering is really easy. Just jump on Facebook, like the South Aussie with Cosi page to put yourself into the draw. Only going to take you a couple of seconds and you could win one of our weekends away, all thanks to the South Australian Tourism Commission. Head to Facebook, like South Aussie with Cosi, and you could win. Good luck!
South Aussie with Cosi. South Aussie with Cosi.
Well, here we are in the suburb of Glynn because you see, I've been holding back a little secret from you guys. The secret is I love Fruchocs. Now, we all know that this factory on Glenburn Road is where these little puppies are made. But how are they made and how can you get easy access to them? Well, that's what I'm here to find out. Fruchocs were initially created as a way to deal with dried fruit offcuts. They are now part of one of South Australia's oldest brands, and no one knows more about them than this guy, Fruchocs guru Phil Sims.
The company has a huge history in this state. Started in 1908, so we celebrated 100 years only a few years ago. We connect with the community in many different ways, from whether it's our Fruchoc brand to a whole bunch of different men's and Roburn brands. One of the ways we connected with the community was back in the war years, the 1940 Second World War, where our role was providing dehydrated vegetables for the Allied forces fighting up in the Asian region. The men's business has its own history itself. It started in the state in 1850. John and Magdalena Menz were German immigrants who came out from Germany, and they started a bakery business in Wakefield Street, and the factory or the building is still there today. It's right opposite the fire station in Wakefield Street. W Menz & Co, 1850 is subscribed up on the building, and they started with biscuits, famous for yo-yos and famous for the bush biscuits, which are those big malt biscuits that you'd get at swimming centres that generations of kids grew up with. So Adelaide is actually the home of a couple of very famous biscuits, being yo-yos and the bush biscuit. 1892 they produced their first confectionery product, which was Crown Mints, and then we fast forward to 1948 when Fruchocs were first produced. We're famous for them. It is actually an icon of the state. The National Trust has given it that status. We produced 40 million of them, produced right here in Glendon in Adelaide.
It goes without saying that the biggest celebrity in this factory is these little guys. Check them out. They're naked Fruchocs. I can't believe they produce over 40 million of these every single year. That's about 2 Fruchocs for every Australian, and they're exported as far away as Russia. From here, they're off to the other part of the factory to be coated in chocolate.
Cosi, you're going to love this. Have a look at that.
Oh.
That is honeycomb.
Honeycomb.
Starts at 6 in the morning, goes to 11 o'clock each night.
Is that right?
And that is like molten lava. You do not want to put your hand in that. That is very, very hot.
So that would be boiling hot to touch, yeah?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's a continuous process. Goes, as I say, goes for about 15, 18 hours a day.
Oh, mate.
And the end process, of course, we're going to end up coating that in chocolate.
So that makes chocolate honeycomb?
Yep, that's it. That's the centre bit.
Wow.
So from there, we've got to dry it, we've got to cut it, and then we've got to coat it in chocolate.
Mate, I need one of these things at my house. How cool. And this is where the chocolate honeycomb comes out at the other end. Hey, do you know what? They make over 7 tonnes of this stuff every single day right here on Glenburn Road. And here's an interesting fact I just learned. Do you know what? There is not one single drop of honey in the chocolate honeycomb. I don't know whether to be amazed or really disappointed. Wow, how cool is this? Not only are Fruchocs super popular, they've also got their own line of, believe it or not, baby clothes. Check this out. You can visit the home of Fruchocs yourself, located on Glenburn Road, only 10 minutes from the CBD. It's open Monday to Saturday, or if you're down south, you can check out their outlet in McLaren Vale. Hey, how's this? Fruchocs have even got their own appreciation society. Jeez.
South Aussie with Cosi.
Well, it's a beautiful Sunday morning down here at the Marina Pier down at the bay, and this is a great location to wrap up another episode of South Aussie with Cosi. But before I let you go, make sure you jump on the Facebook page, South Aussie with Cosi. What's in it for you? Well, you could win one of 8 SA Shorts holiday packages, all thanks to the South Australian Tourism Commission. Only take you a couple of seconds to like the page, grab your iPad, grab your iPhone, and like South Aussie with Cosi. Hey, the other thing is, I've just spotted someone having breakfast behind me. Check out this little girl. She's got her mum's sunnies on. She looks an absolute picture, and it looks like she's enjoying South Australia as much as I do. We'll see you next week.
In South Australia we will go, head away, holiday. South Australia all the way, South Aussie with Cosi.
South Aussie with Cosi is proudly brought to you by the South Australian Tourism Commission.
South Aussie with Cosi.
I like possums.